Hello, hello.
Hi, how you doing today, Steph?
I am good. What about you, Nina?
Good. I'm excited to talk about some lead generation.
I know, one of our absolute favorite topics.
I know.
Whenever we teach this class, we feel...
Oh, that's always such a good class. It's always fun. I feel like everyone always leaves so excited to, go out and try. Because, lead generation, it can be really fun. And it's so, versatile. You can do whatever you want to do.
Right.
You know?
We say in our class to be the Snoop Dogg of lead generation.
Yes.
Which means Snoop is everywhere. He is in children's books. Oh, he's on wine bottles. He's hanging out with Martha. Mm-hmm. He was at the Super Bowl. He has children rap songs and adult rap songs.
Okay, yes.
Yeah. So the children raps are very good, actually. So we are when it comes to lead generation, be the Snoop Dogg in your community. It's fun.
Do whatever you feel like doing. Just do your, Yeah,
the podcast's over. That's all we need to tell you. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's super multifaceted, and we love this topic because it's so simple, but yet is literally the biggest frustration I see in the real estate Facebook groups I'm a part of. So weekly, this is the post I see. I've been a real estate agent for 6 months. I attend an open house at least once a month. I've emailed cards out to my sphere of influence, and I have sent out a few mailers, maybe 100 mailers. I cannot figure out why I'm not attracting business. And I literally want to bang my head on this desk when I read those posts, because that was not lead generating. That was thinking about lead generating, and it's just a very frustrating but such an easy topic. So it's just a big level of commitment.
It's like you're revving the engine of lead generation, but you haven't fully gotten into first gear yet, you know?
Yeah, you haven't taken off. So we're going to tell you how to take off today. It's going to be easy. You're going to be excited about it. And before I get started, here's what you're going to think. And we debated, should we tell you this at the beginning or the end? And we're going to just go for it now because I want your mind to be clear.
Little disclaimer, you know?
Yeah, this is a disclaimer. Good word, Nina. Thank you for having my back. Whenever we go through this list, and we're not going to go through the whole list today, we'll DM it to you if you want it. But the first thing you're going to be thinking is, well, the number one agent in my office doesn't do that for lead generation. The number one agent in my office isn't having to post dancing reels. The number one agent in my office isn't having to do this. Well, there's a good chance the number one agent in your office has probably been there since dinosaurs. No offense, but they probably have some longevity in the business. Typically and statistically, yeah.
They've been doing this,
They've been a hot minute. They've stuck it out.
And, so, things change pretty frequently, 10 years ago, I would not have been wearing, or maybe 5 years ago, I would not have been wearing flared pants. Now, I can't seem to find any,
Yeah.
Trends change, things change. It's all about adapting and doing what's new and what's next.
And the reason you don't have to see those top agents do these things is because they put in the time and they did the lead generation when they were new into the marketplace. Mm-hmm. So for them, it probably was a lot more cold calling, door knocking, while there's still things people still do them today.
They may not have been doing the TikTok dances, but they were probably sending some AOL messages. They were in
the chat rooms. Yeah.
There was definitely some, unorthodox ways that they may have, or not unorthodox, but maybe some untypical ways that they try to get leads.
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't want you to hear us talk today and just automatically discount everything, because if you are a new agent, especially in the last 3 years, you did not see the top producing agent in your office's day one unless they happen to be a new agent, which does happen. But oftentimes it's not the case if we look at really hard statistical numbers. So go through this with an open mind with us today. I'm actually going to ask Nina to flip her laptop back on because we have a list and to go through. So we came up with 100 different ways to lead generate.
And we're going to read all 100 to you right now.
Right now. You're about to be so bored. If you're driving, pull over. No, I'm just kidding. We're actually not going to talk about all 100. Like we said, DM us. We'll send it to you. We're not greedy with the list. And, okay.
We'll just talk about a few.
Today. Before we get started on the list, just recognize that you cannot do these things 1 to 2 times and expect to sell millions of dollars in real estate.
I feel like it's all about consistency. Maybe not doing the exact same thing over and over and over again, but going to the same coffee shop or going to the same, making a routine out of things. That's where you'll see.
Yeah, I was listening to a podcast the other day, and that's what the realtor said is for 6 months he went to the same exact coffee shop on the same exact day, forever, he felt like. And he became such good friends with the owner, and the owner got to know him and know his business, that then when the owner started sharing what he does, he had to have a level of consistency. Just like you preach in, or we preach in social media marketing. Consistency, consistency, consistency. It wins out every single time. And that is true with in-person networking or lead generation. So we're going to kind of go through these today. And normally we don't use a computer or a phone, but I just think that for the sake of time, because if not, we'll be trying to tell y'all all 100 and it would get crazy. And all right, let's look at the first one. Absentee owner is a great way to generate leads in your real estate business. Do we tell them the story?
Oh, yeah. That's a great story.
Okay. I had a realtor contact me. They had seen on another person's Facebook, a random mutual, we had a mutual friend. They seen on her Facebook that my husband and I had a particular business. He knew this property that he did not have the listing for, but he might could get the listing. He had been in contact with the owner of the property, and the owner was like, well, I kind of want to list. I don't. He was trying to build that rapport with that owner to get the listing. So to impress the listing agent, he called me without even having the listing and asked, did we want to buy it? He thought it would be a good fit for what me and my husband do for business.
Because he had just found you through a mutual friend on Facebook, right? He had just seen...
He had seen something about our business. She had posted something nice about our business.
Oh, okay.
He didn't even know.
So she had shared something, and then he saw that shared post on the mutual friend, and he just reached out to you without even knowing you?
We are distant acquaintances is how I'd describe him.
Okay.
Very distant acquaintances. Like, I think he had to track down my cell phone number. I don't think it was just something he had readily, but like I knew who he was when he called.
Oh, okay.
So he calls and was like, hey, I don't have this listing, but I seen your business on such and such's Facebook page, and this listing would be perfect for what you do. He had all the stats ready. He had all the traffic patterns for that property. He had all the new growth and development coming that will be surrounding that property.
So he had a whole presentation basically.
He had it nailed down. Immediately followed up with an email and a text message. So while he was trying to get the business of the absentee owner, do you know who he impressed? Me. I was like, this guy doesn't even have this listing. And he is going through all this work without having this, but in hopes of getting the listing for someone that might not ever sign. But I thought if he would do that work for something he doesn't have, I can't imagine the work he would do for a listing he actually did have. So the absentee owner, it needs to go maybe a little further than just contacting that property that no one lives at anymore.
Yeah.
See if you can match it up with something. See if you can put a deal together. And he did that. And while it's not an ideal location for what we do, what he did will stick with me for ages. Because if there was a way I could use him in another capacity for business, I would, because I was just that impressed. And so I probably should send him this episode, especially because we've used his example in a class too. Yeah. You know, like he doesn't even know. He doesn't even know what he did.
He's changed our lives. What an impression he made on you.
I know. In our marketing, we use this story all the time. So he was trying to impress the absentee owner. He actually impressed me. I don't need that property, but he will stay front of mind for a while with that situation.
And then there's that trust of like, if you do end up, or if he does reach out to you for another property, you've still already...
We've built rapport.
Right, yeah.
I was just impressed by the amount of information he came with for a listing he doesn't have. I was like, dang, that would took some time. Get it, son. So the next one to me is awesome, and we've just lost this art, but old people are really good at it. For lead generation, take someone in your sphere of influence out for coffee maybe every other week or twice a month or once a month. And
yeah, just reach out to people that you know and be like, hey, it's been so long since we've chatted. Let's go grab a cup of coffee.
And be authentic. Do not sales pitch them. They know what you do. Right. This is just, once you get in front of them, they're going to naturally ask you how the real estate market is.
You don't want to be that person signing the DMs. Hey, girl, I have a great opportunity for you to join my... Whatever they say. The spiel that you get slid in your DMs from high school.
Don't try to like boss bait them up on a DM. You just
a casual, hey, let's meet up for coffee. And it's normal. Like, I don't know about you, but I feel like anyone that I meet or run into or see after a while, they always ask what you do anyway. So let them ask you what you do, and then you can be like, actually, I do.
Yeah, absolutely. So great way to lead generate. Go through your sphere of influence, because while sending out a card is really great-ish. There's nothing quite like human connection and human interaction.
Right.
So line that up. Set that up. Okay, the next way, a good way to lead generate, is to collaborate with companies that you already see that are doing an epic job at marketing that pertain back to houses. So we're talking tree removal, carpet cleaning company, plumbing, paint, the paint store.
Right.
Go if you see that there's one of these sectors of business and they're just like killing it on marketing, go to them and say, hey, let's collaborate. Let's do a Facebook Live. Let me ask you, let's go to the local paint store and ask them what colors are flying off the shelf. Like, what are people painting these days?
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I just think like a collaboration with someone else that already does good marketing. It's not going to work if you go to a company who barely post. They've never actually put a video up. They're uncomfortable on video. Don't go ask them to do a Facebook Live. They're going to crumble.
Yeah, it might scare them off a little bit.
Yeah.
But, I feel like, too, when you work with other people in the community or other businesses in the community, it shows that other people in the community are willing to work with you. So if this business that I've heard of, if the paint store that I already get my paint from works with you, I trust the paint store. Maybe that means I can trust you, right? That's kind of the line of thinking you would think,
Collaborative efforts go really far.
Right, yeah.
And they have a social media following. It might only be 200 people. It might be 20,000. It doesn't matter. If they have a good marketing presence that they're trying to grow and you recognize that, figure out a way that y'all can hop on a Facebook Live, Instagram Live, create a flyer together.
Even if it's just you going into their store and posting and taking a post and tagging them and, maybe make the captions be like, so there is some collaboration there. Even if they don't want to be their face in it, even if you get rejected a bunch, just ask to go in and make a post about their store. Tell them that you work in the same industry.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, here's my next one. The average real estate customer last year was 60 years old. Now, that's the average of buying and selling. So that comes from NAR. That was in 2022. And who still gets dry cleaning done besides me? Because I don't want to wash clothes. 60-year-olds. And so they are going to the dry cleaner. They like those pants pressed. They want it done a certain way. So drop lunch by your local dry cleaners. Build relationships and rapport with that set of people because obviously they have connection with the number one age group of who bought and sold homes last year.
Right.
And I know what you're thinking. Well, that costs money. Well, yeah, advertising costs money. So, and
if it's not lunch, drop off some magnets or, I don't know, clothespins with your name on it.
Yeah, whatever you can think of to build relationships. You got to think of who is buying and selling and then who knows those people and build a relationship with them. And I also think it's just an industry that gets overlooked. I took my dry cleaners Christmas presents this year because they make me look really nice all the time with how well they press stuff. I am so thankful for my dry cleaners. And I took them presents. Girl, they were so excited and happy. Like, I was like, dang, this is probably a sector of people that you might not think to go drop off a holiday gift.
Right, yeah. Like you might tip your hairdresser or your mailman or give them a gift at Christmas time. But dry cleaners a little bit more...
Yeah. And they're good. And they deal with a lot. And it's hot in there. The other one, we're not going to dive deep into it, but it's we have a bus garage in my town. So it's where all the school buses, drivers go to park the buses. At the end of the day, they can't take them home, obviously.
Oh, okay.
So a lot of times there are organizations in my community that will go feed the bus drivers at the bus garage.
Oh, okay.
So I think most towns have them because you can't drive your school bus home if you're a bus driver. So just, kind of feeding off that. But the next one that we're going to dive into for lead generation, and I know you're probably like, how? But this one's a little near and dear to my heart.
I know, I love this one.
And it offers a lot of social media engagement. I will tell you, this came out of a heart thing, but turned into a great marketing thing. And there's nothing wrong with that. Never feel guilty for that because my heart was in the right place when I started this, but the marketing it gave me was exponential. So I used to own a brick and mortar store, and we wanted to do something at Thanksgiving with no red tape. We wanted to just give. You didn't have to come and fill out and tell me how much money you make, where you work, how long you've been. I didn't need all that. I didn't need red tape. I just wanted to give. Let the Lord's bless me. Let me bless someone else. Whatever they do, they do. So we created a blessing box. They're becoming pretty popular in the United States. We just built this box. I don't know. It was maybe 3 foot by 3 foot, I'm guessing.
I call it almost like a cabinet, It's just like a little cabinet thing that has little shutters. Or if you've seen those little front yard libraries, very similar to that.
But bigger than those, but yes. So roughly, Nina's right, cabinet size, 2 cabinets. So 3 foot by 3 foot roughly. And we just filled it with canned goods. We took some pictures, put it on social media, said, hey, here's what we're doing if you need food.
And didn't the news write an article about it?
They did. The news ran an article, and then people were just showing up in droves to help fill the box. The box was emptied out every day by people needing and taking. The people was filled by every day by people giving. And so,
Because explain a little bit for how it works for the people that don't. It's people, they'll come and you can drop, it's like a food drive, like you can drop off whatever you want, but then those that are in need, they can just
pick up anytime.
Pick it up whenever
it's
they
in
want.
that box. We don't monitor it. We don't lock it. We don't watch it. We don't care. Because I have seen firsthand people need, and it's embarrassing to have to ask for some people, and sometimes people just need a little bit till next payday.
Right.
And
especially around the holidays, you
Yeah.
know, and things can be so up and down and
yeah. So we started that out definitely as a philanthropy mission for ourselves, but it did so much good to the community. It definitely reflected highly on us from a marketing standpoint. I would be lying if I didn't say that isn't the truth to you, and I just prefer to be transparent. So it's a twofold. You obviously need to share about it quite often. People like to reshare that, and it is a good way to give back. So I don't ever feel bad if I'm doing something out of my heart and it turns into a great opportunity for my company.
And honestly, once you get it set up, it's really not like it's that.
It took care of itself. Yeah,
exactly.
every so
You have to post
often
about it, but other than that, it's pretty self-sustainable.
Yeah, every now and then, about once a month, I would notice that it would get empty, and I would go to Walmart and just buy non-perishable food items and fill it up. So it wasn't bad. Okay, the next one is for those who are comfortable on video, and if you're not comfortable on video, call us. Let us help you get comfortable on video. You got to be on video in 2023. It is what it is. But to take your most frequently asked questions and do a video. If you cannot do a Facebook Live because the thought of live is fearful, film it and edit it. It's fine. You can use CapCut or
Right. And our big tip for doing video editing is that you can just if you start getting tongue-tied, just stop. Take a 3-second pause or 4-second pause. If you're really bad at editing, video editing, maybe a 10-second pause, and then pick back up from that sentence you left off on, or that, the last time that you took a pause, or film it in little segments. That way, if you don't want to do the live, just go back and, editing software is getting pretty, it's pretty easy, but then
plug and play.
Yeah, but then also at the same time, getting your videos edited, it's not as expensive as you would think. So
I was quoted this morning from someone, and I hope they are okay with me sharing this. They might go up. I don't know, so I'm not going to say their name. I was quoted $15 this morning for a 15-second reel, and I thought that was a great price. We're going to take our last podcast and break it down into some reels, some 15-second reels, and this person quoted me $15 per reel. I was like, take all my money. Here you go. I'm so tired of editing. But editing is good. And what Nina's saying is if you get tongue-tied, stop. And the reason we tell you to give the 3 to 10 second break is if you are going to edit your own videos, which I have done all of our videos up until today, it allows you to cut easier with a big pause.
Yeah.
You can find the spot real easy. And so anyway, film your top questions. Turn it into, if it's long, that's wonderful. Make it a Facebook video and then take 15 to 20 second clips, splice it up on InShot or CapCut. They're free. They're so easy to use, and turn those into reels.
Right.
And you can take one long form 15 to 20 minute video and literally get 20 videos out of it that you can repurpose.
You can remix it, put some sounds over it. I feel like I've gone on TikTok and I'll see the same video 3 different times just with different editing.
Oh yeah, I take our videos. We have the same video currently on YouTube Shorts, TikTok, Instagram, Clapper, because I made it as a Clapper account in case that takes off and they ban TikTok.
I didn't know about Clapper. I don't even know what Clapper is.
I don't know either. I just made me an account because
just in case,
because they're talking about banning TikTok. So I said, well, we get a Clapper account. So I take the same video. It is on every social platform, just edited very slightly different. I don't have time to reinvent the wheel. I'm busy. We're trying to teach classes. There will become a day where we actually hire out our marketing for our marketing company because it's just a lot. So anyway, create the video, splice it up.
Splice it up.
Okay, the next one, I don't have much time. We like to keep these podcasts around 22 minutes. So, and I'm passionate about this subject, so we're going to go quick. All right, the next one is to create email marketing within your business.
Oh, yes.
Offers an average of 42% return on investment. So for every dollar you spend on an email program, or if you spend money on a copywriter, which I don't recommend, you will receive a 42% return on investment if done consistently. Consistently is the key and of value. Are people going to unsubscribe? Absolutely. But the average email open rate in this country is 15 to 20%. Only 1 to 4% of people see your post on social media profiles. If you do not have an email list, you are missing out. You own it. It's for life. Email has been around since roughly 1990. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all of them, they have not been around that longevity. And honestly, TikTok is in talks to being banned. Facebook's slightly on the decline. Instagram doesn't know up from down.
And there's still, we work in marketing, and I still couldn't tell you exactly how the algorithm, I do, but like how the algorithm works. Like you're fighting the algorithm on all these websites, but an email list is sending out an email that you control the content of. Like, obviously there are going to be trends, and there's things to consider as far as like when you should send it and who you're sending it to, frequency. There are those things to consider, but it's way less compared to, I accidentally posted my Instagram post at 5 o'clock on a Wednesday when I should have done it at 9 o'clock on a Tuesday, and now no one's going to see it. Like, there's no shadow banning in email lists.
It's free. It's especially if you're in a business where politically you may have been silenced on social media platforms. It's all level playing field out there. We're all sending out our emails, and where the cards fall, they fall. So yes, like Nina said, there's some science to it. We're not just saying get up there and write crap and send it out and hope for the best. There's some science.
And we're not saying just like type up anything and send it out to people. It should have some decent content in it, and there should be some substance to the emails. But part of it's just showing up. Because don't you say that there's someone that emails you like every Monday?
Y'all, I don't even know this lady. I have no idea who she is. I don't know how she got my email address. She literally emails me every single Monday morning at 8 o'clock. She's a realtor. And I'm not going to delete her because I'm just so excited to see her in my inbox. It is like a coffee date. I get my coffee. I just wait for her email to come through. Now, I have a lot of friends in real estate, so it would be very hard if I ever had to use someone for a transaction to use her. But I will tell you, she's a friend of mine, and her level of consistency, if I get an opportunity to refer her, because anyone who can show up on that many emails for 3 years straight has a extreme level of consistency, which is what I would want in a realtor.
Right. And you work with a lot of real estate agents, so you're a little bit like niche. But if you were just like still working at Bennett's and you didn't have you didn't have those connections, you for sure would probably consider
I would reach
her
out
as
to
a
her.
real estate agent.
Yeah, she is amazing. Like I said, don't get offended when you see the unsubscribe, because listen, they might have unsubscribed. That saves you some time, money, energy, and effort. The other really big thing I'm going to say, because we do have to cut this off, is when you start capturing emails, segment them early on.
Organize them, because hopefully you'll have thousands of emails one day. If you already have it organized or categorized on, well, these people are interested in selling, or these people are just interested in, like, these are just brokers that want that type of information. That way you can coordinate how you send out your emails. So that way when you do get to the...
when you wouldn't send out a new listing typically to a seller unless it's a comp. You would send out a new listing to a buyer. So if they're segmented, you can really streamline and get much more results. So I made that mistake. When I had Bennett's, I had 6,000 people on my email list, and they were one giant 6,000 mess. I should have segmented early on. So in our business, we're highly segmented. I know if it came from Instagram, if it came from Pinterest, wherever it came. But anyway, we're going to wrap this up. Email your people. Get you an email program. I don't even know what the rest of this, okay. It ends it right here too.
Perfect.
Okay, great. So what I'm going to challenge you to do today is DM us for the list. We're going to send you 100 ways to lead generate. Then pick 3 to 4 off that list and work them consistently, especially if you're not busy. Don't look at yourself as a realtor or a real estate agent. Look at yourself as a lead generator. And that's what you got to wake up every day and say. If you've not gotten that first sale, or you've only got 1 or 2 sales and nothing under contract, every single day your mindset should be, what is my lead generation efforts?
Right. And I feel like lead generation is definitely one of those things that it builds as it goes. Like your first few week or so of lead generation, it might not feel like you're getting much traction, but as you continue to be consistent and continue to show up in your community, you will start to see some results over time. It's, when you start out super gung-ho in the beginning, it might not you might not feel the rewards of it in the first week or 2 weeks, but that consistent routine and that consistency will eventually start to pay off. And it won't take a year. It'll take a little time, but not forever. You'll see it shortly.
Right. And it's a compounding effort. So your lead generation numbers, your awareness, compounds into your closings. So people who are excellent at lead generation, let me tell you, real estate's a popularity game. So people who are really popular, aka lead generate, create a lot of awareness, they close a lot of deals. It just
But is it because they're popular or is it because they're trusted? You know, like it's not
Well, I think popularity,
they got the cutest outfits and they're
No, I think not high school popularity. I'm talking like business person popularity. So typically business person popularity comes because you're trusted, because you're at everything, because you've built relationships. They've created a massive level of awareness, that is what lead generating is, and then that compounds down to being an awesome agent.
Yeah.
All right, so that is it for the day. Yeah. I guess we're going to wrap it up. Oh, before I go, did I tell you? So I have a little boy, for those who don't know. Mm-hmm. He loves his Aunt Nina, and he is playing baseball this season, and I was his coach last year, so this is actually quite sad. I was his coach last year, and he never even got a game ball with me as his coach. I know, terrible mom. But he got his first game ball this week.
Yay! Oh my gosh!
Yes.
Was he just so stoked?
Money couldn't have bought him. He was just like, he just couldn't get over that he had won that in his little life. You know, like, I don't know. These are I love Five. Five has been fun. He's inquisitive. He's opinionated. He's still sweet, because I hear that might go away soon.
What did he say to you last night?
Oh yeah. He was in trouble. And he was in big trouble because he was disrespectful to me. So I told him he had to go to his room for a big length of time in his little life. And he yelled out from his bedroom, "Mom, I'll never love another woman I'll never love another girl like I love you."
Oh,
I know.
Man, he's so sweet.
They know what to say. Like they're they're starting to become manipulative, you know?
I know.
But in the best way.
Right.
Yeah.
They learn how to act around people. They're learning social skills, like we all will with these lead generation.
Well, I was so proud of him last week because he could have said anything. He got in the car and he said, "This little boy is mean to me." I said, "Oh my gosh, what did he say?" And he said, "He told me he was smarter than me." And I said, "No, you're not. I know stuff you don't know." And the little boy said, "Well, what do you know?" And my son goes, "I know that Jesus had one last supper before he died." And I just love how innocent it is. You know, it wasn't anything it was so sweet.
And it's just so kind of out of left field, and
in such a pure heart.
Right. Yes.
You know, so anyway, Five has been fun. All right, guys, we will be excited to see you on the next episode. Yeah. Join us, subscribe, like, share, all the things, because you will see this on YouTube. That's why we're saying subscribe. But definitely leave us a review as well, and DM us with any questions.
Right, and also too, if you please download the 100 lead generation ideas, and if you want to come up with the 101 or any more ideas, send your ideas to us. We'd love to hear them.
Or we'd love to have you on as a guest if you try out a few of them and
tell us how they go.
Tell us how they go, because listen, we don't know everything. There might be a flop on that list. If you're willing to try some and then report back, we'll have you on. Yeah, we can do it remotely if you're not local. So, all right, have a great day, everyone.